Member for Lingiari.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Resources. Minister, how will the safeguard mechanism bring certainty to the resource sector, and are there any threats to this certainty?
Give the call to the Minister for Northern Australia and the Minister for Resources.
I thank the member for Lingiari for her question and for her commitment to the resources sector. I'm asked by her about certainty in that sector and threats to it. Mr Speaker, for 10 long years, as you know, our resources sector was consistently let down by the former government and now those opposite. Those opposite denied climate change and any action on it. And you know what they failed to do? They failed to realise that Australia's resources sector is absolutely essential to Australia reaching net.
For a moment. The Minister will pause. The Minister will pause for a moment. I cannot hear a word she's saying. Order. The Leader of the Opposition. Give the call to the Minister and ask her to be relevant to the question. I'll give her the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. As I was saying, those opposite, when in government, failed to realise that Australia's resources sector will be essential to reaching net zero emissions by 2050, not only for Australia but for the world. Without the resources sector in this country, the world will not reach a global ambition of net zero emissions by 2050. Now, I'm asked about the threats to certainty in the sector. Well, it lies opposite. There it is. Such is their disregard for the resources sector that they shuffled the Resources Minister out of Cabinet. This is the largest export industry of this country, and they shuffled the member for Finkler out of there so the member for New England could get a promotion and a couple of extra staff. Well, what a legacy. What a legacy for you guys. And you, we remember everyone else's legacy in this House as well, don't we? We remember what the Greens did in 2009 when they failed to support the CPRS. What they did is teamed up with the Liberals and the Nationals opposite to make sure there was no action on climate change nearly 13 years ago. So all of those opposite, and I take the crossbenchers out of that, that is your legacy and the uncertainty you bring to the resources sector in this country. You are driving yourselves into the past, reigniting the climate wars. This country, the people of this country elected this government earlier this year because they wanted an end to the uncertainty you've created for the whole nation, for our economy and for our resources sector. I will ask, OK, thanks very much, Leader of the Nationals. What does Woodside say about this scheme? What do they say about reform to the safeguards mechanism? Well, it will support a reduction in Australian emissions as well as encourage businesses and industries to further innovate and adopt smarter practices and technologies in line with our collective emissions reduction targets. Look, they only employ 5,000 people. What would they know? But this is what they support. Everyone is accountable in this place, just like the 215 high emitters will be accountable for reducing their emissions under the safeguard mechanisms. Everyone is accountable. You're going to be accountable for your vote on those opposite, pardon me, Mr Speaker, are going to be accountable for their vote on the safeguards mechanism, as are the Greens. We know this is how we will deliver lower emissions and a cleaner future.